Good life, good spirits to all in this divinely given moment in time. I am London Tajere. You can call me London Taj, and I would like to formally welcome you into another dimension.
Keep it 100.
Should have it this time. Classic. Yeah, I'm chasing big paper. Now ninjas is big haters. They set a chick up for the check. It's not the wait up.
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Let's turn up just a little bit. Let's get to it.
Left for dead and I rose again.
NERD.
Left alone, now I'm home again.
Yeah.
We's the one, now it's on again. You belong to the ifs and wins.
Dead wrong.
How it feels to lose within. That we should die when those are in. We the countrymen that count your blessings,
Don't count your sins. Capture my vision. I'm catching some digits. Digital integration. Wanna touch, just witness.
Good life, good spirits to you all out there in this divinely given moment in time. It's your girl London Taj, and you are tuned into Classic Conversations. I would like for you all to join me in welcoming a special guest with us here today on Classic Conversations, Mr. Broderick Flanigan. What's up, Mr. Flanigan?
What up, Mr. Flanigan, my pops, man. They call me Broderick. They call me Broderick. They call me Broderick.
Thank you so much for being flexible and sitting down with us to share your story with the world today.
No doubt. Glad to be here. I appreciate it. Appreciate the platform. Yeah.
So we're not gonna, hold up the process. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. Did you ever share any pictures with the ladies?
Yeah.
Gotta ask.
I was extremely shy though and very introverted, so that's as far as it went. I'll be like, here's a picture.
So you let your artwork do the talking for you?
That's my language.
All right, you heard it here first. Classic Conversations. The language of the arts. I love that. So, what helped you become more comfortable? Was it receiving that feedback from teachers, showing other pictures, people actually liking to have your originals as their own, little personal gifts? Did that help?
Yeah, I think so. I think it really did. It definitely built up my confidence. And I don't know if the teachers was just being nice at first, or I don't know. But it really helped though. It really did do something to me, and not really in an egotistic type of way, but it was more so I'm gonna keep going and trying to further this, so I can get better and better, and who knows where it may lead.
So dope! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's crazy because I wanted to be an architect growing up.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be an architect. That was one of the first careers that I was definitive about choosing. Early on, I was still in elementary, I think, at that point.
What about architecture inspired you? Was it just the differences in the different types of architecture that you could create?
Nah, it was mostly from just a surface level type thing. Like I said, my mom teaching me the 1 point perspective, showing me how to draw the cityscapes and the corner buildings and stuff, and being able to line it up and put everything in perspective and make it look 3-dimensional. That was fascinating to me, and so I felt the field of architecture was right up that alley, being able to draw those designs, the 3D models, the different box shapes, and put them together to create the rooms and stuff and all of that. I just didn't realize at the time how much math that it took. and math was not my strong suit. I did okay in math,
Really?
I passed my math courses.
That's interesting that you say that though.
It wasn't, the higher level math, it was a steep drop off.
But the fact that you're able to look at things and see them on a higher level, you would think that math would be something that would be easy, that you would just naturally excel in too.
I wish. I was fortunate enough though to have an algebra teacher that was a drill sergeant.
Who?
She wasn't. I wasn't in Athens at this time.
Oh,
I was in Columbus at that time.
Oh.
And she was real strict about how we showed our work and everything. And that's what helped me get through college algebra. I was at Columbus High then, though, because I moved to Columbus, Georgia, right after I left Hillsman. And I was there for 2 years there.
I never knew that.
A lot of people that's from Athens, because I just kind of left. We just left. I told a few of my close friends, because I was living in LD at the time, actually. And then when I came back, I didn't come back to Athens till the beginning of my junior year. and that's when I finished up at Clark Central.
That
I was
seems
gone
like
for
it
2
had to be
years.
like an adjustment though. Was it a?
It was, because I was gearing up to go to Cedar Shoals because I was living on the east side. You know, so everybody that I knew went to Hillsville and whatnot, and then to come back and then be on the other side of town, and then going to Clark Central, it was a little bit of a difference. I mean, I've been from Athens though. I still knew a lot of people there at Clark Central, and it was a good experience. It was great. Don't get me wrong. I don't regret any of that. And so, but yeah, it was definitely an adjustment coming back because we were on block scheduling down there in Columbus.
Yeah, in Columbus. We were
So
on block scheduling in Oconee. Yeah, so that wasn't.
When I came out of Athens, though, I had so many credit hours. Like I probably could have graduated a year early, honestly.
Really?
But I chose not to. Yeah, I just spaced out my remaining credits. I just spaced them out, and like I coasted through my last 2 years.
I remember seeing you, and you always looked like you were coasting.
I was chilling. I
For real.
was chilling, man. Playing basketball.
Yeah.
Chilling.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's like an interesting story. I would have never thought that. Columbus. Were you inspired by anything while you were down there that you actually brought back with you when you returned?
Not really, not in the art field. Basketball wise, I was. Like I was cut from the varsity team my sophomore year. I had made the varsity team my sophomore year in Columbus. I was one of like maybe 3 sophomores that got moved up early. And one day during practice, I was like being relaxed, very like nonchalant, and I wasn't going hard. And the coach noticed that. I didn't even know the coach was watching me. I'm in 10th grade. You know, got all these juniors and seniors playing in front of me. And so I was just, going through the motions. He pulled me to the side. He was like, I noticed you're not going hard in practice. He's like, we don't know when you got down to JV. I'm like, damn.
Wow.
And that was a lesson learned though. It's like when you get moved up like that, you don't want to slack off. You want to continue to work hard and have that drive and focus, because you never know who's watching on one hand, and then you can always be taken down a notch, if you're not putting forward your best effort. And so that was a huge lesson for me. Like nobody ever told me that really until that coach and actually did that to me. So
yeah.
It was one of those
Major
real time
key
lessons, yeah. So
you gotta give your all or step it down.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah,
That's definitely relatable globally, for real, for real.
yeah.
So I've often heard like people say that true artists are always confident in themselves and their abilities no matter what. What approach did you take moving forward to continue to keep your confidence up as you're moving into your adulthood stages of life, your young adulthood?
That's a good question, but I would have to kind of sit and think about it for a moment. That time period for me was like very like transitional and like, I want to say rough transitionally, but just a whole new experience, just like anybody transitioning from like high school into like adulthood. And so I took a giant leap. Myself and my daughter's mom, we moved up to Virginia right after high school.
Really?
Yeah, we like 18 years old. Like
At 18?
At 18 years old, we went to Virginia. We went to Hampton, Virginia.
Wow.
And so I was gone again, and
that's a major step
Major.
for an 18-year-old.
major. I mean, I had some good family support, and they supported the decision, and so that helped a lot as well with the transition. But yeah, we packed up a U-Haul, got us a little 2-bedroom apartment, and she was going to Hampton University, and we was making the thing happen.
Wow.
Yeah, and we was up there for like 2.5 years, like just out there living.
In Virginia.
18.
At 18,
Young,
I
yes.
can only imagine what that's like, but it had to be full of some great experiences though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It had to be.
And so that brought me back to the point of like how it ties into the art. Like I was still drawing while I was like, in my spare time or like just my free time. And one of my neighbors saw some of my drawings, and they were like, we've been trying to get a drawing done of our kid. And I gotta add this story in there too. It's a funny story. Because a couple of months after I did the drawing for them, I saw that couple on the Jerry Springer show.
What? Get out of here.
I can't make this
That
stuff
is
up.
crazy.
I cannot make this stuff up, man. And when I saw them, I was like, wait a minute. like they used to live next door to us. And I drew a picture of their kid and whatnot. And I can't remember what the show was about at that time, so I don't want to like misspeak or anything. But it was funny. It was funny just to have the experience. But yeah, so I was doing like commission drawings at that time though. So drawing portraits of people's children or them and their significant other or their grandmother, mother, something like that. So I was doing that because Mr. Barnett, he taught me how to do portraits, and I was refining my skills or learning how to do portraits better at that time. So any opportunity I had, I was trying to like, practice. But back then I didn't know how to price art, man. Like I was charging like $20, $30 for a piece like the size of that Bernie Mac piece over there. Like a drawing, yes. Like 20 or 30 bucks. Like it's a few people that have those
They
pieces.
better hold on to it.
If they still have them,
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about pricing art back then,
Yeah. That has to be.
And this was like almost 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Like
Time sure does fly, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, like doing those commissions kind of helped me keep my confidence up, and like because when you're doing a commission like that, you kind of have to get that likeness right in order for the person that's supporting you to be satisfied with the end product. And there was a couple of times where it didn't turn out quite right, and so I had to redo it, and I didn't mind redoing it because I wanted the person that was receiving the drawing to be satisfied with it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of one of those ways in which I put that into my practice to help keep the confidence up. Because when I would internalize that feedback. Like I can tell when a person wasn't really satisfied with it. They would, give that fake smile. I'd be like,
the fake
thank
smile.
you. Yeah, that fake smile. But I can tell kind of like that genuine expression of like, oh wow, that came out really nice, And so
yeah,
I would pick up on that, and try to keep making sure that I did quality of work that elicited that type of response,